I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and Hugh, you mentioned your nephew went Democrat. I'm actually a Democrat that went independent. So 32 years wandering in the wilderness and come to the light, I guess. My question for all of you is in regards to what I call the cocktail party GOP establishment, because I never really understand some of their tactics in some of these races. Like, for instance, you mentioned the Khalid Sheikh Mohammed issue that propelled Scott Brown to victory. Why aren't Republicans pushing the Ground Zero Mosque issue more? And why aren't they talking about Obamacare more? Because it seems like it'd be a winning issue.
I'm sure Michael will add to this, but I'm going to take, amen and amen again. I am so frustrated by the D.C. permanent establishment. I'm not talking about our elected leaders. John Kyle is a friend, for example. I think he's one of the greatest Americans ever. I'm not ignoring some people. I'm just saying he's a guy I know well. He fights the good fight day in and day out. The permanent political establishment, the same 20 consulting firms, are unimaginative, behind the times on new media. They are so, what Michael and I do professionally is communicate. What we do professionally is talk. We actually ask you questions. I'm sure you noticed tonight. I always want to ask people stuff so that I can improve my delivery. These guys never ask anybody anything. They read dry crosstabs and they come up with messages. Obamacare is scaring the daylights out of everyone right now. The Principal Health Insurance Group dropped 860,000 policies last week. Harvard Pilgrim dropped 22,000 policies the week before. Today, 3M announced that they are pushing all of their retirees into Medicare, whether they want to go or not. The president guaranteed you could keep your policy. He has broken his promise more than 1 million times in 1 week. Why isn't that on an ad? I don't know. I don't know. Why is it? They make too much money to do the same old, and it will require a new generation of political people arriving in D.C. before they catch up with the people. Here's the good news. Doesn't matter this year. The people are blown past them.
Pastor, Obama has an approval rating, according to Gallup, most recent, the average for September is 45%. Now, again, a lot of that is that very, very solid 91% in the African-American community. But it's still 45%. And part of the feeling was, we don't want to make this election about Obama because that will drive turnout from his base. Right now, his base is disillusioned, they're asleep, they're not motivated. We don't want to motivate them by attacking Obama. All of a sudden, I think it's beginning to dawn on people, you can't help it. Obama's putting himself out there. You got to hand this to the guy. He's fearless. I mean, you might think that a president looking at this looming disaster would pull back from it. He's not. He's all in. So I think that the answer is that what you're going to see is a lot more hard-hitting. This election is about Barack Obama.
But the fact is, I really don't think that the Conservative Party has gotten the Tea Party movement. We're sick and tired of business as usual. And the big question is, what are we doing between here and there? We have nobody on the horizon. We have no calling into something, a laser point, as Michael would say, galvanized. Here's what we stand for, because we have got to win Latinos. We have got to win black people. We have got to win Asian people. And guess what? We have to stop thinking that young people have a heart so they can't vote for our side. If we get pragmatic about it and share with them why their heart would be for us, I think we could do something. But we totally abdicate it. And what I'm asking you guys who are on the air 3 hours a day, what are you doing to shape how we go after them?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things I've done, I've made the ultimate sacrifice, and I made it a long time ago. I used to fight with my longtime producer, Jeremy Steiner, pride of Hillsdale College, all the time about bumper music. I used to insist early in the show, when I started doing the show, on having a certain number of classical bumpers. That's when you come back from the... And Jeremy sat me down. Jeremy's 20 years younger than I am, and a different generation. He's more than 20 years younger than I am. And he said, look, we have to reach young people. Young people hear Handel. You know, young people hear even Eric Wolfgang Korngold, and click, they turn on something else. So now Jeremy, who is young and hip, all the music you hear, I don't know what it is. I mean, but it's deliberately, now that's a small thing. But look, you ask how do you reach young people? The fact is, the debt that all us oldsters are running up right now, all the people are running up in their pensions, it's going to go on you. It's going to go on you. And again, when people say every newborn baby has a debt of $47,000, it's a huge understatement. I've had David Walker on my show many times. It's closer to $200,000 if you talk about all the unfunded mandates. And I mean, we're talking about $63 trillion that we don't have paid for in future obligations for Medicare and Social Security alone. Right? This is a huge, huge problem, and there is no group that is more directly impacted than those young people who would like to have a future.
I wish I had a producer. I wanted to say that so that I could tell Dwayne I said that. The way, I must say, I'm not alarmed by the demographics of the room. For one thing, I'm a Presbyterian. It looks like a young crowd to me. The other thing is, I'm a double dipper. I'm a Roman Catholic evangelical Presbyterian. I go to Mass on Saturday night. I go to the Presbyterian Church on Sunday. So I'm completely covered on the Reformation stuff. And I am
It's Friday night, you.
It's Friday night. I enjoy triple dip. But when I go to Mass on Saturday night, it's often a very young crowd with a lot of kids. And I will say this. It's my firm belief that between homeschooling and parochial education, the next generation is being salvaged in principled education. I am not at all worried. And as charter schools take root, there is a remnant that is forming up in youth groups. I'm a big Young Life guy. I've seen young people across the United States. They are smart. They are on live. I go on campuses. I talk to them. They are not what we often think they are. They did get swept off their feet by President Obama in a massive swing, and the hangover hurts. And they're coming out of it. So I'm pretty optimistic, actually.